Good afternoon, grade 9. So, this one is solving quadratic equations by factoring. Okay, so I will just rename the equation here. So, as you notice, the value of A is greater than 1. So, you need trial and error to solve this type of quadratic equation or quadratic formula or completing the square. But equations like this, we will just rename the equation. Okay, so to rename the equation here, you will just make the value of A equal to 1. So from A greater than 1, we will make it equal to 1. So the equation now is x squared, okay, plus x. So it's still plus x, but your constant term becomes the product of A, coefficient of A, and the coefficient of C. So 12 times 6 is equal to negative 6 equal to negative 72. Equal to 0. Okay, so the question now here is why I changed the equation to x squared plus x minus 72. It's because factoring a quadratic equation wherein the value of A is equal to 1, so this is invisible 1 now, is easier to factor. So that's the main concern here. Okay, so how do you factor na quadratic equation where A is equal to 1? So we are dealing here with quadratic equations that are factorable. So if A is equal to 1, we just simply make use of the constant term. What are the factors of the constant term? Negative 72. So that when added, the sum is the coefficient of the linear term, and that is invisible positive 1. Okay, so meaning if you get the sum must be equal to 1. So what are the factors of negative 72? So if you are going to try out, there are so many pairs of factors. Okay, but the factors of 72 here in the difference is just 1 are 9 and 8. So factors are 9 and then 8. So since the product is negative, then 1 must be negative. So 8 is negative while 9 is positive. So if we add 9 and negative 8, the sum is equal to 1, which is equal to the coefficient of your linear term. Okay, so if we factor now the equation, then this is just equal to x plus 9, x plus 9, then x minus 8 equal to 0. Then, so how to solve this type of equation? X plus 9 and x minus 8. So, what are you going to do? Bring back, okay? Bring back the coefficient of your quadratic term as denominator here of your factors. So if your constant coefficient of the quadratic term is 12, then 9 over 12, 8 over 12. Okay, therefore next is you reduce now the fraction 9 over 12 and 8 over 12. Okay, so this is now equal to x. You reduce 9 over 12, that is equal to by 3 over 4 times x minus 8 over 12 reduced by 4. 8 divided 4 is 2. 12 divided 4 is 3. Equal to 0. Now apply the zero product property of real numbers. Equate each factor equal to 0. So the product of two real numbers is equal to 0 if and only if one of the factor is 0 or both factor are each equal to 0. So x plus 3/4 equal to 0. X is equal to negative 3/4. So this is now one of the solution. Next is x minus 2 over 3 equal to 0. So x is equal to 2 over 3. Okay, so the solutions of the quadratic equations are negative 3 over 4 and 3 over 2. So negative 3/4 and 2 over 3. So these are now the solutions of the quadratic equations.